Federica Mogherini came to Tirana and congratulated all Albanians for a recommendation for the opening of negotiations, saying that this was a joint effort before adding that now starts the race for membership. In a statement released after meeting with the High Representative Mogherini, President Ilir Meta emphasised that the positive recommendation should serve as a further catalyst for strengthening key reforms. After a successful pilot at the building of the municipality of Tirana, the City Hall is currently looking at ways to extend the Green Terrace project to include both public and private buildings across the capital. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Wednesday the 18th of April 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the countries translated into English. Urime, or congratulations. With this word, the chief of the European Union's diplomacy, Federica Mogherini, addressed the Albanian people, saying that the giving of the recommendation for negotiations is a result of a collaborative effort. Albania kept its promise to deliver justice reform, and the European Union returned the favour by holding up their end of the bargain. You kept your word regarding justice reform, and the EU is keeping its word on negotiations, said Federica Mogherini. Albania also received congratulations on foreign policy, which matches 100% with that of the European Union. Congratulations on your foreign policy. It is 100% compatible with the EU, said Federica Mogherini. With the greatest thanks to Mogherini, Prime Minister Edi Rama said Albania received what we deserved, but he added that there is no time to celebrate, as work must begin now to progress towards actual membership. We passed a difficult test, but this is not the time to celebrate. We have to start work immediately to receive our diploma, that is, to receive membership into the EU, said Edi Rama. Now that the recommendation has been received, there are new hurdles to overcome, especially because not all member countries support Albania's entrance. For this, Rama said that we are prepared to hear many weird things, but suggested the opposition should avoid collaborating with those against Albania and work with the government as a united team under the flag of Albania. Not everyone wants us. I invite the opposition to work with us as a team, said Edi Rama. The Prime Minister said Merkel and Macron also support the enlargement, but there are individuals in Germany and France who do not want Albania. In any case, the government will overcome this obstacle. We will overcome the obstacles of countries that do not want us, said Edi Rama. When asked about the Tahiri case, Rama said that the Socialists acted on the recommendations of the Venice Commission. However, they still expect at least one single piece of evidence to be presented by the prosecution before a vote is held again in the Assembly. We await evidence from the prosecution for the Tahiri case, said Edi Rama. Rama said he agrees with opposition leader Lulzim Basha that the opening of negotiations increases the pressure on the government to perform better on key issues, while Mogherini closed her speech with this message: "The green light has flicked on, so now it's time to start the race." One day after receiving a positive recommendation for opening Albania's negotiations with the European Union, the High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Federica Mogherini, held a meeting with President Ilir Meta. In a statement given to the media, it was noted that the President welcomed the positive recommendation as an assessment of Albania's great efforts over the years in its irreversible path towards the European integration process. This strategically important recommendation for the country and the region should serve as the catalyst for a more consolidated effort and to focus work on strengthening the country through key reforms, it was declared in the statement. The President noted that all those who feel part of this joint success should retain their share of responsibility for the work to come in the future, keeping the focus towards a positive decision from the Council meeting in June. President Meta took the opportunity to inform the High Representative of other developments in the region as well. He emphasised that following the ratification of the demarcation agreement with Montenegro and the progress in the implementation of the Stabilisation and Association Agreement, Kosovo should be provided with visa liberalisation to the Schengen zone as soon as possible. He added that this will help Kosovo to move forward in its European integration process. The army has taken action to clear the territory from waste on the eve of the tourist season. The Jola River in Fushkruya is one of the black marks, an issue that has often been treated in the chronicles of Aura News, where the mountains of piled waste required the use of heavy vehicles in order to be removed. Tons of waste were collected on the first day of the action, which will then be deposited at the site gathering of the area near the village of Halil. In the district of Dibra, cleaning began with the Skurai Ulza Road, a picturesque axis where waste from businesses and passers-by had faded the beauty that nature had bestowed upon it. The Deputy Prefect of Mat said the action will also extend to other problematic roads. The cleaning action will continue in other parts of the Dibra district, said the Deputy Prefect of Mat. Similar actions have been undertaken all over the country. Following her visit to the US, Defence Minister Olta Jajka was hosted by the Secretary of Defence, James Mattis. The US senior defence official has assessed Albania as an ally in all aspects. Albania has shown that its geographical size is far less important than the engagement in the alliance. Albania strikes harder than its weight. You are our ally not only in uniform, but in all aspects. You will always have our help and support, said James Mattis. For her part, the Defence Minister Jajka has invited James Mattis to consider Albania as a contact point in the region. Jajka stressed that a NATO or US presence in Albania is a demonstration that this area is not forgotten by our allies. The Western Balkans is a region orientated towards Western culture. We share and protect the same principles and values, so we welcome the strengthening of our strategic partnership. The US can rely on us, and we believe it's time to leave a trace in Albania. We are ready to make available our marine bases, our ground, air and sea capabilities. We want to see an increase in the presence of the US defence industry in Albania, said Olta Jajka. The 62-year-old Princess of Thailand, Maya Chakrisirinthon, is staying in Albania on a visit that she tried to keep away from the media attention, just as she usually does in every state of the world that she visits. It is learned that the princess initially stayed in Tirana, where she visited the Historical Museum, and further stopped in Shkodra, where she visited the Marubi National Museum of Photography. Accompanied by her staff, she was welcomed by the museum's director, Lucian Bedeni, who informed the Thai princess of the history of photography in Albania and the wealth that preserves this important object, which has turned into the focus of every domestic and foreign tourist. It has been learned that the Princess Sirindon has been impressed by what she has seen in the Museum of Photography, where she learned about a part of the city history, but also of Albania throughout different time periods from the past to the present day. The Princess of Thailand has launched a tour of visits to the Balkan countries. Prior to her arrival in Albania, she visited Kosovo to look closely at some of the historic sites and cultural objects, like mosques and tekes, which are another reality from her Buddhist belief. The Green Terrace project in the capital will be extended to public and private buildings, with the municipality of Tirana providing co-funding. From piloting the terrace idea at the municipality of Tirana, another green terrace has since been added to the capital at the Faculty of Architecture and Urbanisation. Many of the public buildings in Tirana, such as ministries, institutions or directorates, could have a mini park created on the rooftop. Today, we are all talking about orbital and vertical forests, so let's start having a conversation as to how we can build a green oasis on the roof of each of the public buildings, said Veliaj. For the realisation of this project that is a novelty for the country, the municipality of Tirana is considering some proposals. The first proposal is to begin with all public buildings and then to follow on with private buildings. The second proposal is to prioritise green terraces at private buildings through co-funding. In private buildings, this can be done with the community fund, where the elected building administrator can come to apply. We will provide manuals on how the green terrace can be created and then offer co-funding for its realisation through a 50-50 partnership between the municipality and the residents, said Veliaj. Veliaj called on citizens of Tirana, in cooperation with elected administrators, to apply for such projects, which will not only improve the aesthetics of the building, but also the quality of air in our capital. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.